Right, let's get the stream up and running. I think we're probably good. There we go. Give it a little bit of time for people to start arriving. Gives me an opportunity to check that I've not missed anything work-wise for today. I think it's probably looking good. Yeah. How are we all doing today? I'm doing good. I have spent my day largely making an AA and subtitling the Inquisition. How am I feeling with the glasses? It's interesting. I'm. It's been a learning process already in the last couple of days, and once we've got a couple more people here, I'm going to talk about it because I'm having experiences. Hooray for accessibility related disability aid devices, and suddenly going, oops, probably should have done this sooner. But I've worked out that I can wear them on stream with the right setup and not hideously have my lenses full of too many reflections, which is good. This is a good start. This is a positive beginning. Ooh, BT, I am sorry to hear that is rough. That is rough. Rynek, not fun. Not fun. Yeah, I'm doing all right today. I have what have I been up to? I've been doing AA, which is going to this week's accessibility episode is going to be me telling a story related to these glasses and how they have very quickly solved like a decade plus old gaming mystery for me, which is interesting. Spent a lot of my day doing emails today, doing lots of emails about various talks I will be doing at some point in the future for various organizations. One for an educational institution in the US, and one for a United States, like, government department. So both very exciting, but also both ones where I'm like, I gotta be on my A game, and I gotta be fancy when I email these people. So, lots of fancy back and forth emails with fancy people who will pay me to say fancy words at them. And getting ready for an accessibility consulting gig I've got tomorrow, which is exciting. It's been a little while since I've had one of those. I'm excited to jump back into doing some direct accessibility stuff with developers. Saint Nobody says, I've seen glasses described as the most successful disability aid ever invented. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. They are. They can be made affordably. They are so normalized that people don't think of them as an accessibility thing. Like there is a lot of things you can say positive for the invention of glasses. Yeah, I might as well start sharing this story now. Anyway, make sure you don't email them from laurakbutts@assmail.com. I'll do my best, but you know sometimes that finger's gonna slip and misclick, Tara. But yeah, here's the thing. I finally picked up my glasses at the weekend, and the glasses industry sucks, so it does. There's a lot of predatory practices going on in the glasses industry, but you know, it is what it is. But let me tell you, my like couple of early. Oh, interesting. Sorry, I'll get into it in a sec. Cass Fireborn says, I've actually seen people furiously argue that they aren't a disability aid in a way that was kind of revelatory in itself. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, so here's what I have learned in a couple of days of being a sometimes glasses wearer, situational glasses wearer for farsightedness in one eye and also also astigmatism. It's really interesting to be in a dark room and look at a fire exit sign and not have it just like bright light halo lines coming off it in all directions, and just be able to look at a light in a dark room and just clearly look at the clear outline of all the shapes. Look at the the shape and just see a clear outline and nothing starbursting with light. So that's fun regarding astigmatism. And that apparently already that's enough to wildly reduce that going on with my face. But more interestingly, here is my big takeaway so far, and I'm not going to go into too much depth on this story, because if you want to hear this story in a bit more depth and some pontification that came from it, check out Accessibility later this week. But when the 3DS came out in 2011, I could use the 3D effect on it, but I always had to tilt my 3DS like this so it was further away on the left and closer on the right for the 3D effect to work properly for me. And in hindsight, that is because I am farsighted in my left eye. So I needed the 3DS to be further away to focus to, like, get my eyes to make a coherent image from the two. And the reason this is interesting is I dug out my 3DS today, and yeah, no, I can hold it straight, not tilted at an angle. I can hold it straight with my glasses on, and the 3D effect works. And the 3D effect doesn't require me to 45-degree angle the left side of my 3DS away from me anymore. And that's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, maybe I should have worked out that I was a bit long-sighted in that eye, like, over a decade ago. But it's also really telling of, I just sort of ignored a problem, that I probably could have done something about, because that's the way of chronic things being wrong with the body, is at a certain point you just start going, it's probably fine, it's probably not that big a problem, don't worry about it. And then go, no, you could have done something about it. Oops. But yes, these are currently... Am I looking for a long time at a screen that's quite close to my face? These are for that. And it's been an experience. It's been an experience. There we go, one sec. Right, let's start doing some little quests we got to do around Skyhold. We're looking for coal. I think it's just hanging out somewhere around here.
This thing is not a stray puppy you can make into a pet. It has no business being here.
Wouldn't you say the same of an apostate?
Inquisitor, I wondered if Cole was perhaps a mage, given his unusual abilities.
And his
He
big
can cause
wizard
people to
hat.
forget him, or even fail entirely to notice him. These are not the abilities of a mage.
I don't know, those sound
Seems
kind
that
of
Cole is a
mage-ish.
spirit.
It is a demon.
In most fiction,
prefer?
no mage could do those
Although the
things.
truth is somewhat more complex.
Yeah, he helped us.
Cole warned us about Corypheus at Haven. He saved a lot of lives.
I don't care if
And what
Vivian
will its help
disapproves.
cost? How many lives will this demon later claim?
In fact, his nature is not so easily defined.
Speak plainly, Solas. What are we dealing with?
Demons normally enter this world by possessing something. In their true form, they look bizarre, monstrous.
But you claim Cole looks like a young man. Is it possession?
No. He has possessed nothing and no one. And yet he appears human in all respects.
Maybe there's very little
Cole
monstrous
is
about
unique,
his
Inquisitor.
core of his being.
More than that, he wishes to help.
He's
suggest you allow
just a
him to do
meek
so.
little lad of being. Also, I'm too tall, it's just tit can. Yeah, before we get too much further into this, I wanna talk about updates to the SAG-AFTRA strike situation, and updates to current understanding of what's going on. So, my current understanding of the situation is that while technically anything that started development as a game before by August of 2023 or earlier is technically not a strike target, that's in all but name. And SAG-AFTRA's position is they would like you to still consider those struck works. And I'm gonna talk about the Dragon Age example because we're talking about Dragon Age, but also because I've got a really clear thing to point to, which is Dragon Age Veilguard is not technically a struck work by the definitions of when it entered production. SAG-AFTRA is not happy about that situation and the lack of pressure it puts on EA at this moment to, in good faith, negotiate strike terms. And as a result, they are asking people in solidarity to, my words not theirs, act as if it's a struck work as an act of solidarity. Now, I think the clearest example of that is Veilguard's voice actors, who were recently announced, and who were speaking at San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend and had a little exception for that, have since announced we're not going to be doing any kind of promotion for Veilguard. We're not going to talk about Veilguard in any capacity from now going forward because of the strike. And very specifically, like, Erika Ishii's one I can point to, who's gone, yeah, as of this time on this day, I cannot talk about Veilguard anymore. I'm going to shut up about it because of strike. Which to me says, the understanding is, look, even if some works are technically not struck works, if you want to be seen as someone who is standing in solidarity with the strike, treat these titles as if they are struck works as best you can. And I'm still unsure as to exactly what the legal situation around striking worker protections and how that applies to technically not struck works pans out. But yeah, given that the announced voice actors for Veilguard are acting as if Veilguard is a struck title, I think confirms what I was talking about on Friday's stream, which is, best we can currently tell, even if it's not technically a struck work, the safest thing to do, if you can, is to treat it as a struck work. Do not take on new work on a game like Veilguard or GTA 6 during the strike if you are able to avoid doing so. So yeah, that's currently my understanding. We'll see if that develops, but that's currently where I understand the situation with the strike to be. Anyway, tell us more about possession,
What do you mean by
Solus.
possession?
Spirits and demons cross over from the Fade by attaching themselves to something in this world. But Cole has willfully manifested in human form without possessing anyone.
What of Demons of the Breach?
The demons who came through the breach, or through the rifts, weren't possessing anything.
These demons were drawn through against their will.
That's why they
driven
look all
mad by the
monstrous.
But Cole predates the breach.
Oh.
From what we can tell, he has lived here for months, perhaps years.
Ooh.
He looks like a young man. For all intents and purposes, he is a young man.
Cole's fascinating. I love
It is
Cole.
remarkable.
Cole is real interesting. I'll talk with him in a moment. Thimber says the law in New Era has begun. Yeah, it's not gonna be. They're not gonna be here all the time. At the moment, I am in the phase of experimenting with which settings the glasses are helpful in and which they're not. This is the period of learning what's best for my eyes, but from talking to the optician, like, the use case for these is probably going to be I'm sat at my computer, particularly if I am tired enough that additional eye strain is going to make headaches happen. This is me being on stream is basically the use case for glasses. Is I'm sat at screen paying a lot of attention at a time when everything's going to get dark and my eyes are going to be a bit strained, and I'm at a distance where it would be useful to bring my left eye, focus it a little closer. Alright, her eyes are up there. Look, blame BioWare, not me on this one. It's not my fault I'm looking at my character's tits.
I should hear what Cole has to say for himself.
The perils of playing a tall
Where
character.
is he now?
If none of us remember him, he could be anywhere.
Haven. So many soldiers fought to protect the pilgrims so they could escape.
Hello, lad.
Choking fear. Can't think from the medicine, but the cuts rack me with every heartbeat. Hot, white pain. Everything burns. I can't. I'm going to... I'm dying. I'm... dead.
You're right.
You're feeling their pain?
It's louder this close. with so many of them.
Would you like to go somewhere more comfortable?
Yes, but here is where I can help. Every breath slower, like lying in a warm bath, sliding away. Smell of my daughter's hair when I kiss her goodnight. Gone. Cracked brown pain, dry, scraping,
Hey, an Englishman plus American.
thirsty. Here.
Thank you.
I love the
It's all
trope
right.
of a wholesome
She won't remember
empath.
me.
Can't control the ability, is using it to try and help, and will be forgotten the moment they leave. I love that as a combination. Just, I will float in, sense what you need, dig no deeper than is necessary, help you, and be forgotten. So like, not even in it for the recognition as someone who'd helped. It's like, no, I'm just here to float in, float out, be helpful.
You're using your powers as a spirit to help people.
Yes. I used to think I was a
Did
ghost.
people remember Skyrim negatively
I didn't
today?
I made
I thought people thought it was
mistakes,
great still.
But I made friends, too. Then a Templar proved I wasn't real. I lost my friends.
Having someone
I
prove
lost
you're not
everything.
real must kind of suck.
I learned how to be more like what I am. It made me different, but stronger. I can feel more. I can help.
Yeah, stay and help us.
If you're willing, the Inquisition could use your help.
Yes, helping.
I wouldn't have
I help
thought
the hurt.
that Skyrim would have been
The
re-released as many times as it was
There's someone.
on every single fucking platform in the universe if people didn't generally think of it positively.
Hurts. Someone make it stop hurting. Make her, please. The healers have done all they can. It will take him hours to die. Every moment will be agony. He wants mercy. Help.
Bimba says, this year also marks the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 having its 34th anniversary. Was that last Friday? I got my glasses... No, one day off. I was going to say, was it on the 34th anniversary of the 88? No, it was a day off.
You say he won't die for hours yet, but you can't know that for certain.
His body is failing.
He could recover, or the healers could find another way to help him.
How do you know?
I
I
don't,
don't.
and neither do you. That's part of
I'm
life.
working on faith.
Try. I want to stay.
I want you to stay. You're cool, Cole. There we go. Right. Who to next? Let's see. Oh. Do I... Nope, I can't zoom out. Can I? Can I not zoom out? I guess not. Okay, we got a quest here. Okay, we got to judge someone in the fancy throne. Go to the war table and do plot stuff. Special shipments. Okay, so oh, we can customize the skyhold. We'll do that first. How do I... Let's remind myself. How do I get down here? Is... MK Man says, Laura, have you heard of the visual novel Katawa Shoujo releasing on Steam in a few weeks? I'm aware of Katawa Shoujo. Was that not already on Steam? I played that game like a decade ago. Was it just like elsewhere but Steam? I talk about Katawa Shoujo on a really early Podquisition. might even have predated Pogquisition. I don't think it's live on the channel. I think I put it private. But I did a playthrough of Katawa Shoujo on YouTube at one point. Okay, it was never on Steam. Yeah, Look, I'm talking about a game I haven't played in a decade, and maybe if I played it today, I'd go, ooh, there's stuff in this that, like, in hindsight, bit iffy. But from what I remember, it was pretty respectful with regards to, like, its coverage of disability. I don't remember the character's name, but there was a character who was a runner with a prosthetic leg. She had one of the sort of blade-style prosthetic legs for running, and she was running so much that, like, the joint where her physical leg and the prosthetic met was, like, she was wearing the skin away, trying to do better and better at running, and in the process kind of causing herself longer-term setbacks by trying to ignore the injury she was doing to herself because of her, like, pushing herself harder than her prosthetic would allow, and that being quite an emotional cycle of, like, character who all she wants to do is run, pushing herself too far and then not being able to run for a while, and that absolutely, like, devastating her, and that being, like, quite well handled as an arc from what I remember. 2 prosthetic legs. I apologize, 2 prosthetic legs. Yeah, but as you can see, I remember, like, the gist of stuff in it. That's the character I remember best, was the runner with the prosthesis. I think she had red hair. I remember very little else. I'm sure there are things that if I replayed it today I would go, ooh, that's a bit iffy, as with many visual novels of that era, but I remember it positively in big picture strokes. Right, how am I going to get down to the basement place I need to get to?
I'll carry it back to Crestwood and kill those bandits. That's what Father would have wanted.
He'd want you to live a good life.
Right, Yes, there was the blind girl as well. I'm trying to remember who else there was. There was a few, and I remember them positively, again, with the caveat of who the fuck knows what I would think if I played them today with considerably more experience, being aware of disabilities outside of my own, you know. I've done a lot more talking to people with disabilities I don't have over the years, in ways that would... I gotta move the pop-up chat over. I would like to believe I am more equipped today to spot tropey stuff in depictions of disability than I probably would have been a decade ago. Just from actively going out my way to pay attention to more people's experiences than I had at the time. Oh yeah, I'd heard there was an Assassin's Creed something going on in the Olympics. I don't know the specifics of what happened. My understanding is the assassin was there, assassinating away. Ooh, is this gonna be how I customize Skyhold? This seems like it might go low enough down. No.
Scum enemies. Now we have a place to hold.
Yeah, a person in a sort of assassin hood looking thing carried the torch. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Ubisoft has studios in Paris, even though most of the Assassin's Creed are made in Montreal, in Canada, not in Paris, but don't let that stop a good excuse to, you know, do the thing. Right. Does anyone know where I go in order to customize the appearance of the Skyhold? Because I can see it on the map, and I just don't remember how to get there. It's on this lowest floor. Inquisition trapping. Skyhold can be customized to best reflect the style and priorities of the Inquisition. I don't remember how to get to this room.
use them for dinner, and then... I can't recall who took them.
There's a downward staircase somewhere. This goes to the outer ramparts. Okay, I'm just gonna Google how to get to this place I can't seem to work out how to get to. Where to customize Skyhold? Upstairs left from the throw room. There should be stairs up near Josephine. Oh. Okay. Is that not how to get to the war room? Yeah, stairs up near Josephine. This is to go to the war room. I passed it. Okay. Also, the way it looked on this map, it looked like it was down I needed to go, not up. Oh, there are stairs down. Okay, yeah, I see. It's downstairs, but near Josephine, so somewhere down here. Maybe? Is this it? No, this is big book. It feels like we're on the right track. I find another stairway down somewhere here.
That's a full wheel of Antivan smoked cheese. Now, 3 wheels worth of crushed mint. They were right here. I remember seeing someone take them. I can't recall their face.
Keep explore. Okay, no. So this brings me out to here as well. I'm going to find it. We'll get there. Oh, Thimba, super cool to hear of more people trying to learn bits of sign languages. That's neat. Hell yeah. Oh, I had a really interesting conversation with someone recently. I don't know if I've talked about this anyway yet, but I love this idea, and it's one of the more interesting accessibility innovations I've not seen attempted, but I have seen discussed. I was talking with Callum, the UK accessibility specialist of PlayStation, about the fact that when people who are hearing, like a English-speaking hearing person tries to learn British Sign Language, for example, or an American learns American Sign Language, but is someone that their first language is spoken English, a big thing that they will do is they'll often start using something called sign-supported English, where they will do the signs from BSL or ASL, but in the grammar and sentence structure order of spoken English, because they've learnt the words of the signs but not the grammar of them, or their practice has largely been signing at the same time as they do said words, and therefore they're doing the signs in spoken English order. And that is something called sign-supported English, and it's recognised as like, hey, it's sometimes an easier way to start signing for people who signing is not their first language in terms of grammar. The point that that was made that I thought was really interesting was, if your game isn't going to support sign language interpreter support for blind people, for whatever reason, be it budget or time or whatever, or technical implementation reasons, and you go with subtitles, as they currently exist are great for hearing person who needs subtitles as supplementary, or for someone who their first language is spoken English and they've lost their hearing later and they still primarily think in that sentence order. But not so helpful for people who use sign language. And a big part of why sign language interpreters in Forza Horizon was so important is because not only is it not having to translate words into, someone's first language, but that the sentence structure is there in the right order. The suggestion they made was, if you're not going to have sign language interpreter support, could you have a subtitle track that, sure, it's still the English written out words, but could you put them in sign language grammar order? An equivalent of sign supported English, but like sign order supported English. So that if someone, you know, whose sign is their first language has to read the written words, at the very least they're seeing them in the grammar order that is their first language, so they can more quickly and easily read them. And I was like, that's a really good idea that I've never seen anyone implement and not seen anyone like discuss or attempt to do. And I just wanted to say that I think that's cool. Right, can I try and find... That's up. No. Okay. I guess I'll just go judge some people for now, and I'll work out how to get to the the customization check. You know what? Let me have one more look at this article. Also, Cookie Wyvern, thank you very much. I'm kind of digging them. I think they look alright on my face. Where do I find the thing? Inquisition trappings should be... Inquisition trappings should be, yeah, is a quest that should lead me toward the basement. Yeah, but how do I find it, though? Yeah, the quest should take you towards the thing. How do I find the Undercroft? Dragon Age Inquisition Undercroft how to. The door in the back of the main hall. There's no standard way to write ASL or BSL, correct? Not really, no. It's, generally speaking, people write in English in spoken and written English word and grammar order and just expect sign users to also know how to read that order. This door... Oh, this door is Undercroft. It's the one I clicked on earlier. Oh, it's the room that led to this man. Oh, I came here earlier and just apparently never clicked on the thing and then never came back to this room because in my head I'd already been here. Okay. I feel silly that it took me this long to work this out. Okay, Ooh. I could have the Dragon Maw throne. Currently. Yeah, there's that one bit of... I've got one bit of hair that keeps getting blown in the fan. I know. It's catching my attention too. I'm trying to get it to behave. Okay, let's go with the Dragon Maw throne for now. Inquisition windows. Oh, no, I do have some decor options down here. Heraldry. Get some Canary stuff going on. Any other beds? And banner. Yeah, we can do that banner. Let's go see our cool new throne and go do some judgments. Go judge some things and some people. I've got to keep an eye on my emails today. I've got a bunch of emails I've got to do stuff with. Here's the throne. Okay, time to judge people. Judgment time. Come on, judge your friends. Oh.
This was a surprise. After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
I mean, he was throwing goats at us. He's not a serious threat.
You're a chieftain of the Avar. Will your attacks persist?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
I'm honestly pretty okay with that.
He meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
Is it called a gibbet?
I don't know. He could go in that... what's it called? A gibbet? Chief Movran, you'll be placed in a gibbet to serve as
No,
an
I was trying to
example
ask a question. I wasn't
someone.
making a decision.
Then, probably released.
Gibbet?
What is a gibbet? I wanted to know what a gibbet was. I thought this was a question.
Gibbet?
Do I have to Google a gibbet now? Oh! Okay. I either just sent that man to be hung to death, or to be put in a metal body cage and just sort of hang from the ceiling, probably until death. I did not intend to do that. I honestly thought he was no threat. I was just asking a question about what a gibbet was. Oopsie. Hopefully our next judgment goes more smoothly. I'll Google words before clicking on anything
Gideon
now.
Alexius of Tevinter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former magister as you see fit.
Remind me, what's the precedent for nearly ripping apart time at the seams?
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Look, I'm honestly
Will you
willing to think
offer
you're not a
nothing
threat
more in
now.
your defense?
Yeah. Now
You've won
that you
nothing.
realize your son is
The
dying and you
people
really
who
can't
saved
do
the
anything
acclaim
about
you've
it.
gathered,
Yeah.
You lose it all in the storm to come.
Like, let him just fucking live and
Render your
spend his...
judgment,
I think he should just get to live and spend what time left he has with his son. Like... Research... Honestly, yeah. Research magic. You're useful. I don't want you, like, killed off or locked away so you can't see your kid. Enjoy what time you got left for him. Be useful.
Your magic was theoretically impossible, Alexius. I could use people like you. Your sentence is to serve, under guard, as a researcher on all things magical for the Inquisition.
No execution. Very well.
Why execute someone who's a useful asset who was, like, the thing that made him a threat is done. He realizes he can't stop his son's death, and he's accepted his son is dying. He's not really a threat anymore. He's... Let him fucking be with his kid. Alright, we got more... Judgment? No, I think we're done. Okay. Cool. In that case... Oh, no. Did I click on the wrong door? Maybe I clicked on the wrong door. I'll be honest, I've paid zero attention to the Olympics. I know there's a new type of kayaking that everyone's gotten excited about. It involves, like, doing a cool flip in the water. I've paid oh, no, I can tell you one other fact. I can tell you there's a new kayaking sport that involves, like, crazy flips in the water and whatever. And I know that there is one Olympian who has been convicted of raping a 12-year-old and admitted to the crime, but for some fucking reason has been allowed to compete in the Olympics this year. I know that as a fact. That's a fact I know that's really fucking disappointing. I don't think the kayak flips are in the poop river. I think that maybe they're in the poop river. I don't know. I was gonna say I think they're in a pool, but I don't think they would. I don't think you can do the kayaking in a pool because I think it requires like currents and stuff. Oh, the Paralympics I'll pay attention to. But like regular Olympics, nah, fuck them. Don't need that boring stuff in my life. Right, we got one Inquisition perk. Left hand's fine tools I still need, so I'm going to... Get that. I mean, I wouldn't trust the Seine to have been, the River Seine to have been cleaned up, given that Emmanuel Macron cancelled his planned swim in the Seine because he wasn't confident it wouldn't get massively shat in. Flames of the Inquisition Charger. We've gained the attention of the finest armorers in the land. They offer a mount that reflects the flame of the Inquisition. Let's end our best, and we'll know it when you see it. Okay, you're working on that. Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts. An assassin is stalking the Empress. Celine's death would plunge Orlais into chaos, leaving an easy target for Corypheus. And at the Winter Palace, Celine is holding peace talks with her rebellious cousin under the guise of a grand ball.
The Inquisition will compensate the families of those we lost at Haven.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got that mission available right now. Yeah, I heard they did the last summer, but drag. Oh, I need to remember. I need to listen to, Childish Gambino's got a new track out. And I didn't know it was him that had a new track out. But I kept hearing snippets of the track and going, oh, this is really cool, whatever this song is. But I can tell you the context I've been hearing this new Childish Gambino track in. For any of you who are on, like, D&D TikTok, you might be aware of recent TikToks that have been happening around a character called Fartbuckle. And the gist of it is someone in their home D&D campaign, like, they had this stupid NPC called Fartbuckle, who was, like, a real joke NPC the DM had, and they were about to get, like, total party killed, and the nonsense joke NPC Fartbuckle, like, runs in and sacrifices himself to save the party. And people have been making TikToks about this, like, heroic sacrifice of this stupidly named character to a track that turns out is a new Childish Gambino track that has these really interesting rock influences to it. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Reports of Darkspawn activity. Yeah, Cullen, investigate that. Okay, we got our rewards from there. Okay. I want to double check, but I think Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts is the next thing I have to do. I want to check my, like, walkthrough that tells me roughly what order I gotta do stuff to not fuck this playthrough up, because I'm doing it on stream and I don't want people to have a go at me for getting it wrong. I genuinely don't know if there's anywhere I'm supposed to be going right now. Did that. Inquisition needs bees.
Inquisitor.
Send all our people to do these things. I gotta remember to do all the table stuff. Okay, so I've got those ones going at the moment. That's in progress. Stop Venatori activity in the west. Liliana spies have discovered orders from the Venatori's high-ranking commanders. Oh, a large number of mages are traveling westward to excavate something of great value to our cause. Must find whatever its enemies are searching for. Gunma Master, I'm excited for Veilguard, but with the caveat of any time I talk about being excited for Veilguard at the moment, in order to show solidarity with the striking workers, the voice actors at SAG-AFTRA, I will talk about the fact that while Dragon Age Veilguard is not technically a struck work because it entered development prior to August 2023, the voice actors for Dragon Age Veilguard are treating it as if it's a struck work, and it's been made very clear by SAG-AFTRA that if you would like to stand in solidarity with the striking workers, Veilguard should be treated as a struck work for now, which doesn't mean that I can't, play it or talk about it here or on a podcast, but it does mean I should talk about the SAG-AFTRA strike and the fact that the video game voice actor portion of SAG-AFTRA is currently striking to basically get protections from AI, from having people's voices trained to create AI likenesses, having jobs replaced with AI voices, to prevent pressure in contracts from, if you want this role of a lifetime, we'll only give it to you if you agree to submit all of your recordings to be used in training data for AI that we can use in the future. Not using AI, not trying to pressure people to say yes to AI by tying it into opportunities. So, yeah, I'm excited for Veilguard with the caveat of support the strike. Hissing wastes. Not now, let's see. Okay, the Western Approach. That's one of the places I need to go. I'm not gonna go there yet. I think Crestwood is where I'm looking for currently. Oh, didn't mean to come here. I'm coming here purely to leave here. I was just trying to unlock all the places so that when my list of places to go tells me to go a place, that I actually have it unlocked, because it doesn't tell you the name of the place until you do the fucking unlock it thing. JK, I'll say. Oh, sorry, I'll wait for this to
place with a long
finish
and bloody
talking.
history. Even now, the region is volatile. This was a front in the Civil War. Now there's rebels called the Freemen of the Dales, recently emerged and adding to the chaos.
This is where the elves made their last stand, isn't it?
Ah, you've studied the Dales. Yes. When offered a chance to lay down their arms and surrender, they refused.
So yeah, to JK in the YouTube chat who says, I'm keen to play Veilguard as I know Erika Ishii is in it, but have been out of the loop with the strike, obviously would not cross any picket line, virtual or otherwise. So, I can talk about like 3 pretty easy to talk about situations. If you're just someone who plays games, if you're someone who streams games, or if you're a podcaster that talks about games, the advice is very much the same. The striking workers are not asking you not to purchase the game. They're not asking for a purchase boycott. They're not asking you not to play the game. And if you're if they're a streamer, they're not asking you not to stream it. If you're a podcaster, they're not asking you not to talk about it. What they would like is if you would like to stand in solidarity with the strike as someone who just plays games, hey, if you talk about how excited you are about the game, maybe also mention there's a strike going on and link to a strike. That'd be cool. If you're someone who streams, feel free to stream the game, but use it as an excuse to mention the strikes, talk about the strikes, link to the strikes. If you're a podcaster, feel free to play the game, talk about the game, but do so in the context of acknowledging that the strikes are happening. So, you know, they are not asking for a consumer boycott. They are not asking for boycotts from streamers or podcasters at this time in terms of boycotting, playing, or discussing the work, but they would love it if when you brought the work up, you also brought up the fact that there is a strike going on. Hopefully that helps clarify some things.
Must we dwell on such gloomy
Oh, I hadn't meant to click that.
I don't want to dwell, but look. It must have been so beautiful. Maybe even romantic.
This rebel group. Tell me more about them.
They seem to be simple deserters, tired of fighting and dying for either the Empress or the Grand Duke. Now they want the Dales for their own. Worse, they're more organized than we anticipated. Be wary.
Exactly. Gumbermaster in the Twitch chat says, a little bit like how you always mentioned the shit stuff that Ubisoft did and did not do when they come up at the game adverts with Jeff Keighley. Exactly. It's, you know, when Ubisoft comes up, we're like, hey, we're going to talk about the fact that, like, their executive class have a horrible history of abuse, and according to the workers, basically nothing changed after the big investigations into that company, and fundamentally they've not done much to fix things. You know, we talk about that. And I'm making the personal choice to not purchase and play their games, but there is no requested, like, consumer boycott. Generally speaking, it's like the way I bring up Ubisoft when we talk about Ubisoft in context. I go, hey, let's remember to talk about, like, the news context around that. It's very much the same. Right now, it's if you're playing a game from a struck company, talk about the strike, bring up the fact the strike's happening. Now, beyond that, there's a lot more specifics outside of streaming, podcasting, and just being a regular player that I don't know the answers to yet, but we'll see.
What else can you tell me?
Scouts have sighted Dalish elves. There must be a clan camped somewhere.
Okay.
With the rifts and the undead, the Orlesians have lost ground. We have to stabilize the region. Good luck, your worship.
Okay, I hadn't intended to come here quite yet, so I'm going to go back to Skyhold. Yeah, so this is Exalted Plains. What have we got? Just a second, just to check. We got Arroyo, Hissing Waste, Western Approach, Hidden Oasis, Storm Coast, Hinterlands, Valamire. Cool, let's head back to Skyhold and keep unlocking areas and then work it out. But yeah, so like I can yeah, I still need to find out some answers to some stuff. Like, I have some work I am contracted to do that is still at least a month to multiple months away, but if it comes to it, I don't know what the answers are on whether certain work categories constitute picket line crossing yet, and I'm just gonna have to make my best educated guesses, if I do not hear anything official from SAG, as to where that particular line exists. We shall see. Only I were a voice actor, that would make it really easy to know what was crossing the picket line. Don't do voice work for XYZ. I keep overshooting this door. Right, war room. Why are you no longer just a nice straight line walk when I go into the big fancy office? Now, here's the question. When I turn on my stream light, that's a little bit visible in my glasses. It's not the worst thing. My ring light isn't the worst for visibility. Like, you can see where it is, but it's not the worst.
How are the rescue efforts? Have they found anyone alive?
Excavation is slow, as you can imagine.
Oh, I now don't have 30 with which to do Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts. Okay. We're gonna need to go get some more good happy friend points elsewhere. Emerald Graves. No, if I unlock any more, I won't be able. If I unlock that, I won't be able to afford more. Let's see. That's in progress. That's in progress.
Any news on rifts beyond reach of the Inquisition?
Yes. And it is not good.
Where the fuck is Crestwood? Oh, Crestwood. This is Crestwood. This is the next place I gotta go, I think. So, I'm trying to... Okay, so make the choice that the main quest needs you to do at the war table. That was whether to go mages or Templars. Continue the main quest, enjoy the cutscenes, yep. Talk with all companions as much as you can. Unlock Crestwood, continue the main quest here. Find the Warden. Okay. Hawk's Warden friend is somewhere here, disappeared before we could talk to him. He's good, be careful on the road, lots of undead. Cool. I'm pretty sure this is the thing we need to be doing right now. And this will hopefully get us enough points that we can unlock the other places, because I just spent a bunch of points unlocking places that were not the place I needed to be. Iron Bull, Solus, and Varric. Gonna be you three yet again. Can I tweak the brightness at all without turning my ring light on? So one sec.
Good to see you safe, Inquisitor. We've got trouble ahead.
That's probably fine. Oh, what's the trouble, Harding?
If you're on edge, I should alert the entire Inquisition.
Or increase my hazard pay. That's an option.
Are things that bad?
Yeah, there should be a mayor here that's going to be important. Or relevant.
Oh.
Crestwood was the site of a flood 10 years ago during the Blight. It's not the only rift in the area, but after it appeared, corpses started walking out of the lake.
Oh, fun!
You'll have to fight through them to get to the cave where Sir Hawk's Grey Warden friend is hiding.
I wish we could get better acquainted, Harding. When the dead aren't rising around us, perhaps?
The world would crumble to dust before you ran out of ills to fight. Maybe someone in Crestwood can tell you how to get to the rift in the lake. Maker knows they'll want help. Good luck, and please be safe.
Alright, I gotta answer one stupid work email for a moment. Give me just a second, chat. Organizing Gamescom things. Making all my Gamescom notes, the thing that's going to pay my bills this month. And that's sorted! Sorted. Where are we going? Okay, let's get your stupid exclamation mark off the map.
Dispatch for you.
Give me the report, tell me what things you need.
Yourself, sir.
Obsidian and iron. Okay, that's fine. We'll find those on the way. So this is this main quest. Fight back against the undead. Raid rifts. Jumps to establish. Okay. Let's head for this first. Ooh, things I should recommend that you check out that I've got happening coming up, which I'm gonna pitch now because it'd be really cool if people tuned in. Let me find a link. I'm going to be part of, this year, the 2024 Black Girl Gamers Summit. I've been invited to talk about video game accessibility as part of this wonderful event. To read a little bit about them, Black Girl Gamers is a multi-platform inclusive community-powered organization that keeps over 10,000 plus black women gamers safe online. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful organization. They put on an annual online summit for a bunch of cool, interesting, informative, video game related panels, and they've asked me to be part of a panel this year, and that's super cool. It is happening. I want to find the schedule. It is happening Saturday this week at it's slightly after 7 PM UK, so that would be 2 PM Eastern, 11 AM Pacific. I want to find the specific time. I want to find the schedule. see if I can find a link. Like your gamers Twitter. I don't know if it's banned or just it keeps the SAG site keeps experiencing huge amounts of traffic and therefore getting stuck, not working. Alright, give me 2 seconds to see if I can find the specific panel. Well, here is a post about the Black Dog Gamers Summit. More generally, I'm trying to find the schedule post for it. But there's a link there to where you can register for the online summit. Let me find the specifics of my specific panel. So let me turn that light back on for a sec. Here we go. Do we have a time on it for it? August 3rd at so it's 2:55 Eastern. So that would be 7:55 p.m. UK, 2:55 p.m. Eastern, 11:55 Pacific. The panel is happening. But yeah, I would highly recommend people check it out. Not just for the panel that I am... Oh, no, wrong bit. Yeah, not just for the panel that I'm involved in. Go check out all the panels. It's a super cool event. It's coming up this Saturday. There we go. Right, one sec. Hurrah, there we go. I remember to promote things I've got
Maybe
coming.
the locals will lend us a boat.
Interesting to hear ad blocker might be the issue for SAG. Apologies for the issues occurring.
Back to the village, miss. These roads aren't safe. Sir, are you sure we can't help the village?
Our orders are clear. If we can't find Warden Stroud, we return to the commander with all haste.
Still don't feel right.
Okay, let's keep heading along, I suppose.
New leader. I don't think they're part of Corypheus's plot to seize the order.
Or some of the best liars I've ever seen. Nah, you're right.
Thank goodness You're Here is releasing soon. It releases on Wednesday. I'm half tempted to pause Dragon Age and do a one-off stream evening for Thank Goodness You're Here. That is a game I would love to play on stream.
Undead by the gates.
I think it would be. It'd be a good chill stream. Either that or maybe a daytime stream before pod position recording, so like a UK morning stream for that game if it's available and like accessible that early in the day. Okay, Village of Crestwood. Okay, that's the mayor we're trying to get to. Let's find out what this is quick on the way. now, so I'm gonna need to do a bunch of side questing. I might do some of this tomorrow. We'll see. I gotta get more Inquisition points by doing all my busy work.
Why doesn't Judith live in the village while this is going on? Make her, if something happens.
Are you looking for someone named Judith?
Oh, was I speaking out loud? Judith lives outside the village. I asked her to hide here when the undead came, but she wouldn't hear it.
Why wouldn't she hide where it's safer?
Likes her space, she said. I told Judith my house was big enough. Me and the boy could sleep in the barn if she wanted room. She turned me down. Auntie?
Okay, check up on Judith. We can do that. What other quests we got around here? Let's go talk to the mayor. Yeah, this is definitely where we were meant to be at this point. It's talk to the mayor, do as he asks on the way. Okay. Let's find Monsieur Mayor. There, sir.
The Inquisitor. Oh, Mayor Dedrick of Crestwood Village. At your service, despite everything. Are you here to stop the undead?
We will, right? I mean, these people are terrified.
The undead are appearing because of a rift in the Fade. How can I get to it?
The light in the lake. It's coming from the caves below Old Crestwood. Darkspawn flooded it 10 years ago during the Blight. Wiped out the village, killing the refugees we took in.
I saw a dam. If we use it to drain the lake, I can get to that Fade rift.
Drain the... There must be some other way.
Great Lake?
There's really not.
You'd have to evict the bandits in the old fort to use the dam. I can't ask you to risk your life.
Okay, we can do that.
Crestwood can't last much longer. I don't want to leave without doing what I can.
This key unlocks the gate to the dam controls. But, Inquisitor, I would not linger there.
Okay, tell me about
Tell me
Crestwood.
about your village.
It's seen happier days. We farm what we can, trade with the merchants who travel the King's Road. We only want peace, your worship. It's all we've ever wanted.
What can you tell me about the bandits camped in the fort?
The highwaymen, thugs and thieves. They make a living raiding caravans on the King's Road. When the dead rose from the lake, the bandits killed the old gamekeeper of the fort and took it for themselves. We could have saved people if we'd been able to hide there instead of in our homes.
I'm surprised a town as small as Crestwood outlasted the Blight.
It was a close thing. The Darkspawn followed a band of refugees running from the Blight. Some of the refugees were... they were very ill. But we took them in. They perished when the Darkspawn flooded Old Crestwood.
How did Darkspawn manage that?
They found the dam's controls, wrecked them, and now they return to us.
Okay, we gotta claim the keep to reach the dam. So, claim the keep. Okay, let's head for the camp. Check up on Judith. Claim the keep. If I don't do this rift now, I won't remember to do it. We'll get further away. Ooh, what do we got here?
The Maker's right. You honor us, Inquisitor. Does the mayor finally plan to drain the lake? I must find someone to retrieve the remains of those lost there.
Have I interrupted a funeral service?
We lost many friends in the first attack. There will be endless time to mourn. The fear is how many more will be added to the pyre.
I want to exhume the corpses at the bottom of the lake?
They were the Maker's children. A funeral service will help put living minds at ease.
What did you mean by finally drain the lake?
The undead returned only after the light in the lake appeared. If we want to stop them, we must investigate.
Okay, yeah.
Here he thinks that emptying the water...
Until later.
Untrust.
Okay, I'll be on that. What's here's the thing on claim. Alright, let's continue heading to that rift. And continue heading up just so I can head around, because I know I'm at this point walking away from where I want to go, but I feel like I need to be the other side of this. Maybe I don't need to be the other side of this mountain range. That is a fast travel point. Okay, you know what, let's fast travel back to the start.
Find the fall of
That
the
might
dwarven
be an
landscape.
easier place to get to
What's
the rift
so
from.
confusing about endless darkspawn?
A great deal. Although that is a different matter. Dwarves control the flow of lyrium. They could tighten their grip on it.
It's hard to get the attention of the humans when the darkspawn aren't up here messing with their stuff.
You're active in the Carter. You know your people could tug the purse strings. You could claim sovereign land on the surface, or demand help restoring the Dwarven Kingdom, but you don't.
You're not saying anything I haven't said myself, Jackals. Orzammar is what it is.
Not trying to be that angry, I was trying to pick up a little flower. Calm yourself. Okay, there's the rift. Onward and upward. Okay, we are level 11. That's good. Ooh, cave. Can I get to this cave? Keep trying to press the wrong button to interact with it. I know why this is. It's because I was playing Horizon Forbidden West earlier today, and Y is or triangle is the pickup button in that, and that's why I keep trying to use that to pick these things up. Okay, Okay, not getting in from this side. That's fine, though. We will go back to Crestwood. And get back to plans. We're gonna set this camp up. Have a question mark on the map? No idea. Can't be that important. Ooh, good to hear that Cult of the Lamb is still getting updates. That's nice to know. At some point I will probably go back and play more of that game, time depending. This requires, you know, me to have time to go back to a game that I've already, at some point in the past, played some of, rather than just marching forward through time. Okay, where am I sort of heading toward right now? Let's go find that monument. Maybe up here, isn't it? Claim that.
And what are you standing there for? Don't you have somewhere better to be?
I don't know, there's stuff to loot in this cave, so maybe I don't have better places to be. Let me take your cave supplies and stop complaining. I'm saving the world and that. Okay, we got red lyrium, which we can do something about. Can I not do something about it? No, apparently not. You sure do get a lot of video game for €4. Luxus. I don't think anyone would make the argument you didn't get €4 worth of video game. At least. Okay, how close are we getting to this camp? Oh, we're real close. It's other side of this ledge sort of territory. Yeah, there was a all of the past Dragon Ages have been on sale recently. There was a sale, it might have been a Humble Bundle or a Steam Bundle or something, that was all of the past Dragon Ages for £10, I think? Which was impressive. Oh. How can I get down here safely? Okay, oh, I'm lost in a bush. Okay. So close. Do I just take the fall and hope I survive? Do I stream this game a lot? I'm currently streaming it 3 days a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 PM UK, near enough. Would it be 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for about 3 hours, 3 times a week. So I'm doing about 9-10 hours of streaming this game per week. Oh. I can survive a fall to here. And slide down. Right, there we go. New camp. Retrout pond. Stop it, sir. Let me in. Stop giving me things to fight. I just want to set up a little camp. Is that so rude of me to ask? Okay, we done? Up and away, set up camp. Hurrah! Did that get us any more points to spend on unlocking places? 1 more, so we're on 15. Cool, so this is the main quest we're trying to do, but we can close the Fade Rift on the way to checking on Junimith, and then teleport back. Oh, I can see the Fade Rift from here. That's easy enough. No! Ruffalo, I did not mean to mean you any harm. If we're doing this...
Is there at least the movement to reunite Orzammar and Kalsharok?
What is it with you, Chuckles? Why do you care so much about the dwarves?
Once, in the Fade, I saw the memory of a man who lived alone on an island, mostly deprived of all disease or disease. His wife had died in childhood. He was the only one left. Could have struck out on his own to find a new land, new people. He stayed. He spent every day catching fish in a little boat. Every night drinking fermented fruit juice and watching the stars.
Huh. I can think of worse lives.
Sounds like a hobbit the way you're describing it, Solus.
Knowing it'll all end with you. How can you not fight?
I suppose it depends on the quality of the fermented fruit.
So it seems.
Look, if you give me some really good fermented fruit juice, I'll happily ignore the fact that the world is ending and go, not my problem. My only responsibility is to enjoy my time. You ferment that fruit juice, right? Oh. Hey, Zilla, thank you very much for the bits. Happy Monday. How are you doing today? Okay, so that's done. Let's go find Judith and find out why she's not heading to town. Right, this way. Super groovy. That's good news. That's good to hear. I'm pretty groovy myself today. Got some cool emails about some neat work opportunities that are going to pay well, even if I have to put on my sending fancy official emails hat to, you know, make those work things happen. I have to be a fancy official. Oh, these stupid puzzles. Starium. I'm just gonna Google the stupid Starium puzzle. I don't have the brain for the Astarium puzzles. Astarium, and where am I now? I'm in Crestwood. That's the one. Okay, so I'm going... Let's see. 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 20. There we go. Done. Was never going to get that on my own. It is not worth the hassle and the effort of me trying to make that work. There we go. Got a tiny bit of influence. Okay, why will this lady not come to town with her, I'm assuming, boyfriend?
Between the corpses and the wyvern, nothing here is safe. I wouldn't give to get my hands on that animal.
There's a wyvern causing trouble?
It used to hunt in the mountains. Didn't bother anyone but the bandits. Lately, the beast got it in his head to come down here. It almost crippled Gauld's little boy. Best someone kill it. I hope I get my hands on the liver. It makes a poison that kills rats like nothing.
Oh, gotta finish sending emails. Do. Gamescom appointments. This is always the way. I've been emailing PR people for Gamescom appointments, like, middle of last week. Hear nothing, hear nothing. The second I'm on stream, it's like, oh, we're finally here. Would you like to book your appointments? I'm like, okay, cool. Let me lock this in now, because if I don't respond to you and get your attention now, you're going to vanish off the face of the earth again, and I won't get these appointments locked in.
Do you farm out here?
The name's Judith. I farm and I mend things for the village and people passing through. I did a fair trade with traveling merchants before the undead started attacking. And those bandits. Not to mention that dragon.
Okay.
Oh, you know, the fishing's grand.
Tell me about this dragon.
What do you know about the dragon?
Age.
She moved in a month ago. The guards tried to run her off, but she snapped one's head off and she flew away. Poor Hamold. At least it was quick. Since then, she's eaten 3 horses, 5 goats, and 2 cats.
If you're Judith, there's a man in the village concerned about you.
That must be Gould, fretful as ever. I'm glad he stayed in Crestwood. He's fast as you please with a loom, but terrible with a sword.
Until later.
Be safe.
Ooh. Has this quest become go kill the wyvern? Okay. Oh, how do I get there? Where is this near? Can I maybe just walk to it from 3 Trout Pond?
Nothing to report.
Maybe. I'm still gonna keep heading towards the dam. Okay, can I Skyrim my way up here? No, there's definitely an invisible wall there. How about here? No, no, definitely still an invisible wall. No, I'm going to have to come around to that from the other side. Okay. Let's do the actual quest for the mayor first. Let's go do the mayor's quest. Remember, I've still not found time to try Flintlock, but I know that Conrad has. I think Conrad talked about it on Inquisition last week. It's on my list of things that I need to make time to check out, just... It's been a work deadline's kind of week. Always fun, but it requires upending my usual schedule at that time for things. Ooh, what's in the cave? ADHD has been distracted. We are going in a very dark, not particularly visible cave now. How far off track am I going right now? Maybe off track, maybe on track, maybe this is the route. This cave is sort of leading nowhere. Get out of here, spiders. Done with your little skittery noises. Alright, what's my way out? What a suspicious doorway-looking thing. What onward? Oh, I see a sort of rampart tower. Feels like we are heading to probably the right. I don't remember what the control is to activate that. I don't know how I activated the big glowy thing. I remember that it's a power we got last stream. I don't remember what the button combo was to do it. I said at the time, I said when we got the ability, I was like, I'm going to have to remember that I have it and how to use it. Oh.
There's the keep the mayor talked about, and the bandits.
Even having a slight itch near my eye.
Risky, but we could rush it.
I'm having to get used to... Oops, there's glasses in the way. Hello, operators of this keep. Have business with your boss. That somewhat requires you to kick your asses, fight down the door. All of you could just not put up a fight for a moment while I go defeat all your brethren. That would be super convenient for me. Who's left in here that still thinks they want to have a go? Ooh. Well, Simba, as a person who knows very little about either of the games you are suggesting picking up, Kataria Fable sounds adorable to me. Now, only you know what's going to be better for you, but that's the one that I read the description of and went, that sounds cool, and I didn't previously know about. So I'll pop my thought there. Yes, I have reinforcements, the three of you, to help me kick all these asses. Okay, we're all still standing.
Rather fight bandits than demons any day.
Hang out there so that I can claim... Oh, I want to claim a little monument spot. Let me do that. Let me claim part of your castle as mine for a little monument location. Oopsie daisy, up you get.
all of them.
Good view. The Inquisition could use this place.
Ah, time to plant the flag.
Welcome, Inquisitor. My name is Charter. Leliana's eyes and ears, especially in this place. I'll have some information for you once my man Butcher finds you.
Did Sister Nightingale tell you why she wanted agents here?
We lie on the main road between Denerim and Valroyone. Couriers stop here all the time. For what they're paid, some have surprisingly loose tongues.
When's the spy named Butcher supposed to arrive?
Half hour ago, by the south gate. I hope he's only delayed. Butcher's last message swore he had secrets for us worth 10 times.
Ooh, that Kataria fables. The art style looks lovely. Cool. Okay, so I've spoken to you.
Here. The mayor said the dam controls were through this gate.
Let's find those damn controls. Down here, and then we can find a breach. And then we can probably fast travel back to down, can we? Yeah, I suspect so.
That building on the dam must be where we can open the floodgates.
Would make sense. I'd assume so.
What in?
The mayor said Darkspawn destroyed these controls 10 years ago. Who repaired them?
Good point. Ask the mayor.
It's a good question. It's a good question. Anything else we need to do in here while we're here? Doesn't look like it.
Didn't know you were here, sir. Please don't tell anyone.
I knew this was a mistake.
We didn't know you were here, sir. Please don't tell
Oh,
anyone.
there we go. How'd you get in here?
How did you get past the guards?
There weren't any when we got here.
We just heard you killed the bandits, your worship. You won't tell people we were here, will you?
My lips are sealed.
Oh, thank you.
I knew
We could try the...
you hate.
You fuck...
Okay, you two have your little secrets. I'm not that bothered. I'm not that bothered what you're up to. I'm honest, you two. It's already more attention I've paid to you than I intended to. Okay, we've got a landmark to somehow find in here. we go. I can fast travel. That's good. So how do I get out there? Sorted. Claim this. Gain more perk points. I find what this quest is. Oh, there's a rift I was going to go to, wasn't there? You? I have to be upstairs and around. Down? Oh, I don't like you. Okay, fine. Well, that's what's going on. Somehow that got unequipped from my moveset. Okay, and where this ability go on R1. Okay. Let's not worry about that quest for now. Let's try and find the Fate Rift.
We should search the area.
No need. I found the rift. And DH, I probably will be streaming the full version of Thank Goodness You're Here when it comes out. I'm debating
One of the artifacts
what to do with that. What I might do is I might skip Dragon Age this week on Wednesday and do a stream of Thank Goodness You're Here, or alternatively I might do a UK daytime stream of Thank Goodness You're Here. I'll find a point sometime this week to do a Thank Goodness You're Here stream, and at worst comes to worst, it'll be available as a VOD. Terrace Cassie says, out of curiosity, how is the combat in this compared to Dragon Age 2? I mean, for what it's worth, I played this largely as a, an action game that kind of plays more like an MMO in the way that, like, say, a Xenoblade plays kind of like an MMO with your cooldown timers and whatnot. There is a degree of synergy building, but largely it's... You've got your basic auto attack and you've got your skills on cooldowns. It plays fine. It's not a game I play for its combat, but its combat is never like a thing that prevents me playing the game. Rift closed. Do one more attempt to find where this quest is, and then we'll head out to try and do the breach thing. I think I need to go upstairs in here, which would be this way and up stairs.
Was it?
And assume the quest giver is up in this corner where we staked our claim to. Yeah, up here where we claimed the place as ours.
Someone needs to deal with the last of Crestwood's highwaymen.
Who has time?
If we clear the bandits out, more travelers.
Good point, but I've got a code to unscramble if you want to know who killed Comfeyer last week.
Okay, there's bandits. Yeah, where are they at? Oh, they're just somewhere in this big range. I see. And the butcher. Okay, well, we're gonna have to come this way on our way to find Hawk's guy. So honestly, I think we can kind of just ignore that for the second. Yeah, if we go back to the starting place, we should be pretty close to where we need to go. We'll try and find the bodies, we'll grab the Astarium, and we will sort out the zombie problem in the lake.
So this is old Crestwood.
I can feel the weakness in the veil even above ground. Spirits are being called here like moths to flame.
Spirits are your expertise, Solus.
Then tell me why nothing here changes.
This realm follows different rules from the Fades. Willed alone.
Then what's the point of it?
A solid form is both shackle and strength. It affects more than your
Now, what are you? Tell me of yourself.
Are you a spirit or a demon?
Those dolts who would suck this world dry. I am called to higher things.
What are you
Is a
called to?
spirit like you called to do?
I lead armies, kingdoms, lords. I am Imperial. I am command. What of you? I felt your coming. Is there something alike in us?
I think there must be.
I knew it. You will need them all.
What's so distressing about the real world?
I order the rocks to part, but they do not. I don't know how you mortals stand it.
Why haven't you gone back to the Fade?
I will not be denied. I refuse to leave until something obeys my orders.
Then I feel compelled to help you. I pledge myself to your service.
A creature made of rage had the gall to chase me across the lake. Yours holds no...
Works for me.
Okay, I'll go kill the thing in the lake for you. Sure, why not? I'll go kill you a rage demon. Why not? Okay, I'm gonna find 3 bodies.
Spirits must have come through the rift.
They drift, wandering. It's fortunate the rift did not warp them into demons.
You know, one of the 3 bodies I need? I guess not. Okay. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong scan button. That probably wasn't helping. Oh, then maybe that body back there was one of the ones I needed. I was trying to right stick click. Bottle of Thetis. Again, not what I was looking for. I was looking for a dead body, really. And the skeletons don't count as one of the 3 bodies she's looking for. Alright.
I can sense elven magic somewhere nearby.
Okay, that's more magic elf liquids. How hard is it to find a bloody body around here? That's apparently one body I have found, despite very clearly being a pile of multiple bodies.
Hey, Varric, you get that thing I asked about?
It should be there next time we head back to base. Not easy to find, by the way.
How do you guys live without this stuff?
I don't see what the deal is, honestly, but different tastes.
Now I just need some hot milk and some of those Orlesian ghee morphs to put in it.
Hey, what you do with this cocoa is up to you. I don't need to hear about it.
Oh, you're just trying to find a little hot chocolate with marshmallows, are you, Iron Bull? That's adorable. I hope you'll share some with me as I continue to ill-advisedly try and romance you. Okay, found 2 bodies. Come on. Can't be that hard. Come on. Just one more itty-bitty corpse. Oh, return the remains to Sister Vaughn, which we can do, but we'll do later. Entrance to the flooded caves. Not that fussed about the Astarium. Okay, onward.
Where does this lead?
Probably to the flooded caves, I'd imagine. Probably. Mayhaps.
Come on, let's find that Fade Rift.
You lead. I always get turned around underground.
What's with the path? Did people used to live here?
Further down? Gosh, this goes so deep. Down and down and down we go.
Dwarven ruins down here.
Looks like an old outpost. What's it doing here?
The dwarves built well. Their runes still sing.
Oh, that sure looked like a thing coming out of Rift with that green glow. Maybe not. All well and good, all well and good. Oh, is this the rift?
By the rift, demons!
Everything ignore me for just a moment. Okay, I guess I might have to fight you. Oh, we got a few waves of this to go.
Good! Just got warmed up.
We're almost halfway through this rift. Everything ignore me for just a moment. come around. Oh, there we go. Did it. Done. Easy. Simple.
The spirits possessing the dead will plague Crestwood no more.
Let's tell the mayor.
I just fast travel out of here, or do I need to? Nah, I gotta walk back. Okay. Now to remember the way back. How are we doing on power? 29, okay. One more, and we should be able to afford literally anywhere we want our next place to be. Follow the lit torches. We lit torches on the way in. They will lead us out. If I see a torch, it means I was there. And I'm going up, which is a good sign. I still hate the knowledge that riding a horse is not any faster than traveling on foot in this game. It breaks my brain to know that information. That your horse does not move any faster than traveling on foot. Ooh! Welcome, Raiders! Hello, everyone who's just come over from Traditional Scrunch's stream. Hello, my name is Laura. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I do a lot of shiny hunting in Pokemon, but currently we are doing a playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. Do you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? I mean, look, me and the devil, pretty well acquainted as someone who used to go to church and then was like, forget this, bring on the heathen life. And do I do so in the pale moonlight? Well, maybe I tell you all someday the story of the moon goddess and the 2 years of spam emails I got convincing me that I was a minor deity. Surely I must dance in the pale moonlight, considering I am the moon goddess, as I was told by 2 years of emails. Oh, how they bring me joy. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, we killed the demons. We can go tell that spirit. Cool. You know what? We've Julius Kaizen, Magpie MK, we're not still in the hinterlands. We did escape the hinterlands. Helenath says, I'm sure I remember hearing that story on Podquisition. What a throwback. Celine or Artemis, neither. I am my own moon goddess. You know what? I'm going to tell the story, because it's always a fun one to tell when there's new people here around. So, let me tell you the story of Laura, the moon goddess. So about 4 years ago now, right around the start of COVID, I started getting daily emails from a woman called Bethia. And, it's a really long, involved scam, but she's trying to get you to buy mystical trinkets at exaggerated prices. But she sent me 2 years of daily emails where every email was like another layer to the story, and another, layer of the scam trying to get me to buy her mystical bullshit. But the main points is 6 months, maybe 9 months into this, she starts really ramping up the mysticism of it all. She starts telling me, first of all, I am the moon goddess. I am the spirit of the moon, the magical lesbian energy spirit that inhabits the moon incarnate. I am the moon goddess born into human form. And she's going to sell me some, like, mystical trinkets to, like, unlock my moon goddess powers. And she's, like, listing off magical abilities I will gain when I, you know, unlock my powers as the moon goddess. I'm going to gain, like, telepathy, teleportation, mind control, like, energy and matter manipulation. She's, like, really, really selling me on, like, the magical abilities I'm going to gain when I become the moon goddess. But then she, like, ramps it up further, because not only am I the moon goddess, I'm a second reincarnated deity at the same time, and this is where she starts, like, really going off the rails. I am also the reincarnation of the Archangel Michael. I am a literal biblical archangel reincarnated. And, like, my favourite one of these, my favourite bit of bullshit she spun, was that the Pope knew of my reincarnation as the Archangel Michael, and the Pope had, like, a holy artifact for me, but, like, it had to be smuggled out of the Vatican City because, like, there were secret forces that were trying to get a hold of this special Pope artifact, and I was emailing her back going, well, funnily enough, I'm on holiday right now and I'm quite near the Vatican City. I'll go, like, you know, let some of the staff there know that that Laura is here, and that the Pope needs to know that Laura is here. She's like, no, you can't do that. What if they're spies and they find they intercept the message? You must spend however much money it is for the Pope to post it. My favorite punchline, and this might be the thing that got her to stop contacting me around the 2-year mark, is that she was, like, trying to sell me on this, like, moon-shaped crystal that was, like, white with black spots, kind of like the craters of the moon. And I managed to find it on AliExpress. So she's trying to sell me this thing for, like, 90 or 100 pounds, and I find it for, like, £2 on AliExpress. So I order one. And when it arrives, I email her back and I go, you know, the moon magic must have, you know, it's working in mysterious ways, because I know you were given the moon crystal to impart upon me, and I needed to, like, spend money on the postage fees. But the funniest thing happened today. I walked out my front door and there was this right on my front step, and the universe must have just needed to get it to me so badly that it manifested an additional moon goddess power activation crystal just for me. So I won't need to send you that money, Bethia, for the crystal. The universe provides. And that might be the point where she got a little pissed off with my refusal to engage with her scam. But also she has a YouTube channel, and sometimes I go and watch her videos about how the source of all heavenly power is Uranus.
Why haven't you gone back to the Fade?
I will not be denied. I refuse to leave until something obeys my orders.
I should leave.
Off with you. Yes?
The rage demon in the caves is dead, as you commanded.
I had no doubts. Now that my sovereignty...
Let me get that title right. Let me find her thing. Bethia.
Your reward. Use it well.
Let me find the Uranus video. Sorry. No, the title's way better than I thought it was. This is a video from 4 years ago. Always expect the unexpected with Uranus. Always expect the unexpected with Uranus. Always expect the unexpected with Uranus. Oh, Bethia, you will never not bring me joy. My BS be like that sometimes. Doesn't it just? What is this? Return the remains to System... let's return the remains to System Born first. So yeah, there's a little bit about me. If this is your first time coming along to the stream, my content is half being a moon goddess who's, you know, always expecting the unexpected with Uranus, And half talking about video game accessibility, because that's a thing I do. I make regular content on the internet talking about how we can make video games more playable by more disabled players, because more people should be able to play the games that they love to play.
Your worship.
Here we go,
I've
found
already
some
found the remains
bodies.
of the people who died in Old Crestwood.
I didn't imagine you'd look yourself. Thank you.
Well, I was there.
I will prepare the bodies.
Cool, so we brought her corpses. Let's go find the mayor. I think this is the main thing we needed to do here. I'm gonna do the warden quest while I'm here, but I think this is the main one we like needed to do for progression right now. Help out this mayor. No, we do need to do the one thing. The one thing is more optional.
There's things to be mended.
Hiya! I've drained a river. I stopped some ghosts. Where are you, Mayor? Inquisitor, it was not Darkspawn that opened the dam and flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago. I did, in secret. The night they attacked, the undead you have been fighting are people I killed with my own hands. Mayor! We'd taken in refugees from the Blight. Many were ill. We moved the sick to the lower part of Crestwood and the refugees into the caves to stop the disease from spreading. It didn't work. One confessed he'd seen Blight sickness before. It was always fatal. When the Darkspawn attacked, I knew the only way the village would survive is if the Blight sick drowned with the monsters. I cannot bear the sight of Old Crestwood now that the water is gone. I cannot stay. I'm sorry.
A letter of confession from the
Oh,
mayor.
you're an asshole,
He
Mayor.
was the one who flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago to stop the blight from spreading.
I knew he was nervous about more than the undead.
Villagers learn about this, they're not going to be happy.
We probably shouldn't be talking about it in the open right next to one of those villages that we don't want to know about it. It's fine, they're not going to know about it. How would they even learn about it? Okay, that's fine, the butcher. There's a rift. Okay. Let's try and find some of these bandits to kill.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor? Is there anything that gives me a hint as to where these bandits are, or do I just have to run around until I find them? Are these enemies over here bandits? They're highwaymen and guardsmen. Does that constitute a bandit? Okay, yeah, those do count as bandits. It doesn't necessarily have to say bandit above their head, they just have to be the bandit class. Tiara the Goddess has recently got Inquisition myself. I have been meaning to do a playthrough again with Belgrade. Because it has been so long since I've played Inquisition that my memory is patchy at best. And anything that gets me back into the frame of mind of what are the politics of this world, what are the factions, what are the various things going on, what are the names of things that, like, when they come up in Belgard, I want to see them and go, oh yeah, I remember recently reading that word and remembering what it is. Gotta love having a brain that is like a sieve. I did do a very skimmed playthrough like 4 years ago. I think that's the only time I've replayed it since it came out, and that was better part of a decade now that it's been out. Oh, back in. Okay, 3 more bandits. It was right around the time I was trying to do the, like, the BioWare games that I have mixed opinions on. Why do I have mixed opinions on them, and what is it about them that makes me keep dropping off them or not sticking with them? because I was replaying this around the same time that I was replaying Mass Effect Andromeda. It was around 2020. I did a playthrough. I think it was like January 2020, right before COVID all happened. I replayed this, and I replayed Mass Effect Andromeda, and both of them I was like, what is the thing about these games that, like, I struggle to put words to? And for this, I worked out what it was. It's, a lot of the problem with this game is the hinterland section, and specifically the game not doing a good job of hand-holding you on, it's okay to leave an area before it's finished. You don't need to do 100% of everything everywhere. And at what point, realistically, you can go, I've done the things that are actually important here, I'm not going to cause problems for myself if I leave. I can go to the war table and pick somewhere new, and that's fine. Like, it doesn't do that initial onboarding well, and I think that the first act of the narrative is way too open for its own good. I think the game could have really benefited from being more linear or less open right up until Corypheus. The whole thing with Corypheus. I think, like, that's where the game really gets its hooks in, and I think that, like, structure and pacing-wise, that opening section has a lot of places where a person could drop off the curve before they get invested, in a way that I don't feel like was the case with, say, Mass Effect 1 through 3 or the earlier Dragon Ages. Yeah, Magpie MK says there's a reason why it's a meme. Yeah, and I don't say this to be specific about Dragon Age. I think BioWare has had this problem with certain games, at least for me. I've had this problem with BioWare games in the past. The original Mass Effect trilogy, one of my favourite game series of all time. I played Mass Effect 1's opening, like, 4-5 times before I actually did a playthrough of it. And, like, those first, like, 4 playthroughs, I never got as far as becoming a Spectre. Like, sometimes BioWare just has games that have a weird onboarding loop that don't quite ramp on correctly. And you hit, like, the point where the stakes get established, and you're like, oh, this is actually pretty fucking cool, and you stick with it. But sometimes they have that weird little drop-off that's easy to do in their opening sections. At least on the Mage Path, most of the content actually is in the hinterlands, but you have to leave and go elsewhere between events. Yes, exactly, but that's the thing. The game isn't very good at going, here is the expectations for, now is a good time to leave, don't stress about doing everything, but you will need to do X amount of stuff, and you might need to come back. Like, that portion of onboarding isn't terribly well handled. Where was I heading? I'm trying to find, where am I going? I'm heading, I want to go north, but I'm also trying to find enemies to fight. Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, I think, suffers from the same, like, not as many people, it doesn't have the same kind of meme status, but the first properly big open planet in Mass Effect Andromeda has the hinterlands problem. It has that problem of being the place that people drop off the game before it's really established its major premise. And again, those were only a couple of years apart. I think it was like 2014, 2016, was it? So it's a problem that BioWare had at the time that didn't get better. It stuck for a while. Thimba, I'm not surprised to hear the Wizard game has a sequel in the works. 2017, okay, 3 years apart. But you see my point. It was not a big separation between those games. And both of them, to differing degrees, suffered from the same kind of problem with the way they handled their open world. 2017 years ago. Yeah, Andromeda would have been during Position's run, yeah. God, was Andromeda really the same year that the Switch launched? I guess so. Andromeda would have been, like, right around the same time as, like, Mario Odyssey? Yeah, that would have been... Huh. Yeah. Did not mean to pick a fight with you. Yeah, Pole Position is approaching episode 500. This upcoming week is going to be 500 episodes of Pole Position, which is still bonkers to me. Mario Odyssey was, yeah, Mario Odyssey was like September? October? Andromeda would have been like closer to November, maybe? Queer and Pleasant Strangers hits episode 315 this week. QPS 315. Now my brain's going, next week will be 316, and then my brain got locked on... As someone that grew up in the church, I then start thinking about John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, so that we shall not perish but have eternal life. Which, I hate that I know the fucking... the chapter and verse for that fucking thing. This is what growing up in the church will do to you. I see number 315 and I'm like, oh, 316's coming. For Laura and Jane so loved the world that they gave their Tuesday nights so that the world may not have a podcastless day and shall have eternal queer and pleasant strangers. There you go. QPS 316. Also, I'm guessing that means Jane has just sent me an accessibility thumbnail. That's a good thumbnail, Jane. You've done a real good job putting me into a Nintendo press conference for that thumbnail. Nice work. I like that thumbnail a lot. Andromeda was March. Was Andromeda March? I guess so. Andromeda was like, yeah, Andromeda would have been like was Andromeda the same month that the Switch came out? Was Andromeda the same month as Breath of the Wild? God, that wouldn't have done Andromeda any favors, would it? But that was the same... That must have been, like, within a month of Horizon Forbidden Zero Dawn coming out? Forever and ever, gay women.
I am sorry to have bothered you with my...
Did we have Mass Effect Andromeda, Breath of the Wild, and Horizon Zero Dawn all within a month? Horizon Zero Dawn. Please. Yeah, February 2017, we had Horizon Forbidden... Yeah, within a month. Within 1 month, we had Horizon, Mass Effect Andromeda, and Breath of the Wild. No surprise that the Mass Effect Andromeda struggled.
It's about your people, Varric. I see so much of this world in dreams. Humans, my own people, even Kunari. Dwarves alone were lost to me, save scattered fragments of memory where some spirit cared to watch. Now I know why I see so little.
And why is that?
Dwarves are the severed arm of a once mighty hero, lying in a pool of blood, undirected. Whatever skill at arms it had, gone forever. Although it might twist.
Okay, Solus, sure, being really depressing.
I'd avoid mentioning that to any Carter, Chuckles. They might not...
Yeah, as Andy H says, the Horizon games have always had bad luck with their release dates. Horizon Zero Dawn released, like, right near Breath of the Wild. Forbidden West launched right near Elden Ring. Even the VR one, the VR Horizon launched right at the same time as something else big that... Was it Tears of the Kingdom? It was right before Tears of the Kingdom, Call of the Mountain came out. Every Horizon releases right around a big genre-defining open-world RPG that really takes the wind out of its sails. And that's the thing, like, Mass Effect Andromeda, I, today, am a defender of Mass Effect Andromeda. I did not get on with it the first time I played it, and I think a big part of that is going in expecting a game that was going to feel like the original Mass Effect trilogy, and my expectations not matching up with what I got really threw me. But, like, knowing what to expect and going back into it several years later with, like, reset expectations, I enjoyed it a lot more. I think it didn't do a great job of setting expectations. It was going to be a kind of different adventure within the setting. My main memory of that game was writing articles about what was her name? Haley Abrams, the trans woman character that was not well handled upon initial release. Okay, I gotta find one more bandit somewhere out here. Let's just run around until we find one, and then we can onward with quests. Come on. Come on. One little bandit. How hard could that be? Okay,
Reinforcements!
Poor bastard.
Hooray, bandits!
Well, let's go put them down.
Well, no, you're Templar guards. You don't count as bandits, do you? Come on. You a person here? No. Am I getting close to? Nah. Okay, no. I'm in a pretty good spot for not wandering out of the zone for this warrior bandit hunt. I'm still reasonably well inside. Oh, bandits! Oh, not you, Druffalo. Highwayman. I think that makes you a bandit. There we go. We got rid of the bandits. Okay. I don't want to fuck with that dragon yet. If I can help it. Oh, did I get too close to you? I'm not trying to fight you. Don't worry, I'm leaving. Off I go. I'm no threat. The dragon is not bothering you while I'm trying to disrupt the range. That is fine. something aggro me for just a moment. Oh, I saw that. I realize I haven't talked about this on stream yet. I watched Deadpool and Wolverine that came out last week. And like no spoilers. I will talk about this in a spoiler-free manner, but I generally thought the film was like pretty fun, well paced. I enjoyed the music choices. I thought the humor was generally on point. We'll talk about exceptions in a minute. Look, it was nothing terribly cerebral, but it was a fan service in all the ways that series has kind of primed you for. Love letter to previous attempts at superhero franchises that, you know, now that everything is under the Disney banner, are going to less and less be considered canon, and giving those things a last chance to be relevant and important before they are subsumed into the big Disney brand. And I think that's kind of a nice approach to take with something like that. My real only problem with it as a film, like, I'm not going to say it's anything like world-changing or, you know, I think you could very easily argue that it is a little too... It requires a little too much external, other things you need to have consumed to follow its plot, which is, you know, a somewhat detrimental choice. But I think its biggest problem is there's, like, 2 jokes in the film that, like, they're not enough I wouldn't recommend seeing the film, but they were disappointing. They were jokes where I was like, you would have lost nothing by not including these, and I just thought better of you, Ryan Reynolds. I thought you were better than this. One of them, I'm going to be very vague with this. One of them is a character says something, and another character, for comedic effect, mishears them and thinks they've said the R slur, that particular term around mental health disability, the R term, and says that incredulously in response, only for Deadpool to go, no, that's not what I said. Don't say that. Oh, you'll get us cancelled. And I'm like, anytime you fucking need to follow up a punchline with, oh, don't say that, you'll get cancelled. It's like, it tells me you know that you're not fucking supposed to say that word. Just what you just didn't need to. And the other one is just like kind of unnecessary use of like sexual assault as a punchline. And I'm like, it's 2 really offhanded things that are just like, I thought better of you, didn't think that was necessary. Didn't stop me having a good time with the film, but it's like, go in being aware of that. There's a couple of jokes in like a 2.5-hour film where I'm like, I thought better of you. I thought better of you. I thought there'd be someone in the room to go, that's maybe a little over the line, innit? Also, welcome raiders. Hello everyone, my name's Laura. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. You might know me as the person who subtitles the Gymquisition or as one of the hosts of Podquisition. Some of you may know me as a person who didn't previously wear glasses. I now sometimes wear glasses. I recently discovered that's a thing. Other than that, we've recently been talking about the year 2017 and the fact that Mass Effect Andromeda, Breath of the Wild, and Horizon Zero Dawn all came out in the space of 1 month in spring of 2017. From the end of February to the end of March, Mass Effect Andromeda, Horizon Zero Dawn, Breath of the Wild, and the Switch all happened. It was a busy fucking start to that year. Oh, Steph, I'm glad you enjoyed the glasses. These glasses exist for, particularly when it is late in the day and I am staring at monitor that is near the screen and I don't want to get headaches from focusing my the strain involved in focusing my eye that likes to focus further away. I have one far-sighted eye, and these are here to be like, hey, don't overstress that eye. We'll bring it in range. It's all good. Focus work, exactly. It is, am I focusing on a thing at a near focal range? I have these now to do that. Also, it turns out I can now use the 3DS without having to tilt it 45 degrees away from me to account for my weird eye. But I think they look pretty cute. Right, we close the Fade Rift. What were we on? What were we doing? Close the Fade Rift. Let's get that landmark, and then... Oh, we can inform Charter of Butcher's Faith. That's a quick one we can crack at. Air Combat says your hair is amazing. Oh, thank you. I love my hair. I think it's pretty good. I like that half of it is shaved because it means that I know where all the hair goes. All of it just goes that way, and I don't have to work out where it goes, and that's super convenient for me. Yusba says Nearer to Automata. Did Nearer Automata come out? Was that in the same, like, 1 month period, or was that later in 2017? Jane says some gaming highlights from 2017. Resident Evil 7, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Divinity Original Sin 2, What Remains of Edith Finch, Okami HD, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Yakuza 0, Hollow Knight, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, The Sexy Brutale, Yooka-Laylee, Little Nightmares, Prey from Arcane, Splatoon 2, Sonic Mania, Destiny 2, Metroid Samus Returns, SteamWorld Dig 2, Doki Doki Literature Club, and Cuphead. That was a hell of a fucking year. That was a hell of a fucking year. Yeah, Omniscia Shamble says Nier Automata was February 2017. Yeah, so even if it's a little more than exactly a month, February and March 2017, Nier Automata, Mass Effect Andromeda, Horizon Zero Dawn, Breath of the Wild, and the Switch. Yeah, no wonder Mass Effect Andromeda struggled to stand out. I feel like if Andromeda had released just like a month earlier or a month later, it probably would have fared much better than it
Found
did.
Butcher's corpse by the South Road. Red Templars ambushed me afterward.
Only our highest operatives knew he was coming tonight. I must inform Sister Nightingale we have a traitor.
Zmadzilla says, yes, that was the one and only reason. Certainly wasn't the one and only reason. Like, don't get me wrong, we talked about this earlier. Mass Effect Andromeda has a lot of problems, largely with setting expectations for what was going to be different from the main series. I would argue going to the complete opposite side of space, but only introducing one new species and largely just having you interact with the same species and archetypes that you did back in the Milky Way, it was a big letdown. I think largely its problems are the same as Dragon Age Inquisition, which is really not having a good sense of how to guide the player through big open world environments, and when is it okay to move on versus do you need to feel the obligation to 100% an area before you move. It's a problem that BioWare was having around the time, and those three things really were things that game struggled with, and then it was released sandwiched between three of the most critically acclaimed big open action games that have released in modern times. Thimba, we've played that game on stream. Yeah, you want those games, right? So here you go. Now, let's see you clear them. There's a sequel, there's a second one that's just come out of that. Yeah, we played the first one on stream. That one was fun. Okay, so we've done that quest for you. Yeah, so let's quickly get the landmark. Come on. I accidentally pressed the attack button. I'm not in combat. Just let me fast travel.
Nothing to report, sir.
Let me jump the wall. There we go. Yeah, 2017 really is one of those years. Where I could probably name like 10 games that any other year would have been a shoo-in for Game of the Year. There's a good number of games like Nier Automata, Horizon Zero... let's look at that list again. Let me look at ones where I'm like, yeah, this could have been Game of the Year in any other year. Resident Evil 7... Hollow Knight, I mean, it's probably too... It's not big budget enough that we've got Game of the Year stuff, but Nier Automata, Prey... Yeah, like, there's a good handful of, like, real solid Game of the Year stuff there. Sumac says, sorry, is this modded? At least a bit. Nope, this is not modded. I'm playing it on PlayStation. There's no mods on console. I am playing the just regular version of Dragon Age Inquisition. Z-Manzilla says, I actually did like Mass Effect Andromeda, but a lot of it was in spite of it being attached to the hip to Mass Effect. If it just did its own thing, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more. Instead, it was saddled by expectations. Couldn't agree more. I enjoyed Mass Effect Andromeda so much more a couple of years later, replaying it, going in with the right expectations and, like, knowing what to expect and just appreciating it for what it was. But, like, its biggest problem was, it was very transparent that they were moving to the other side of the galaxy, not because they had something interesting to say over in Andromeda, but because they wanted to avoid, setting a story that needed to account for the fact that the Mass Effect trilogy had happened and that your choices could have varied things. So they just went, let's just go somewhere else and do something else. But the problem is, and this was the game's biggest problem for me, is because the ship leaves Earth between Mass Effect 2 and 3, any of the conflicts that you solve in Mass Effect 3 go back to being unsolved in Andromeda, and that's really unsatisfying, and it leads to you having to mitigate the same disputes between species that you've already probably solved in Mass Effect 3. You have to relitigate those problems all over again. And specifically, I think the big example of that is if you cure the genophage let's say you cure the genophage in Mass Effect 3, you then have to go back to, the genophage hasn't been cured, and all these species have these thoughts and opinions about the genophage again, and it's like, well, we fucking sorted that. It undoes the closure of sorting those issues, and it, rather than getting to explore what are these species in a point past those conflicts, like, you don't get to explore, like, what are the Tali's species when, you know, now able to sometimes breathe outside of their suits, or what are the Krogans like now that the genophage has been cured, or what are the long-term consequences for the Solarians of their involvement in that. Instead, it just resets and pretends those problems are happening again, which, like, it rewinds to a state where it's like, no, this is old news, we've already done this stuff. Which I don't think helps on top of, you're largely like, oh, what are your options on the ship again? Well, you've got your Rosari, who's the sort of femme, romanceable by both genders, that option, and you've got, like, it just felt like it was re-throwing the same things at you, where I was like, If we're going to a completely different corner of space, give me, like, 6 or 7 new species who are, like, completely fucking alien to me. Did we really need a Mass Effect continuation? Despite the third episode's fumbles, it was a well-buttoned story, better than Game of Thrones in any case, so any sequel was already starting from a bad place. You know what I would have rather seen? Like, let me pitch you some Mass Effect stories I would have loved to have seen. A Mass Effect prequel set during the First Contact War. That could be really interesting. Give me a Mass Effect story set that's nothing that isn't people going from the Milky Way to Andromeda. It's just a completely unconnected set of characters that happen to be in the Andromeda galaxy doing a whole different thing. It shares a name, it shares a sensibility, but it's a complete reset with a completely different set of species dealing with a completely different set of problems. Give me a Mass Effect where I'm playing as a non-humanoid main character. Let me play as, like, a Hanar or a the Hanar are the jellyfish, aren't they? What are the big lumbering ones that say out loud their tone indicators before they start a sentence? Like, gleefully, I enjoy your company. Let me play as, like, one of those fuckers. Let me play as, like, a weird, bumbling, like, actually alien species. Like, there are some things you could do with Mass Effect I would find genuinely exciting, and let's reset the things you successfully fixed and re-explore the same species you've already explored was not top of my list of things I was like excited to do with that situation. Oh, Elcor! That's the word. I always fucking forget. The Elcor... Sorry, I gotta stop this in a second and talk about my fucking love for the Elcor. The Elcor are my favourite fucking autism allegory in existence. And I don't mean that they're autistic, but they are... let me find this fucking drop below and we'll get that. Give me 1 sec. So, let me like, tell you my thesis about the Elcor. The reason the Elcor say, like, the emotion of the sentence they're about to communicate at the start of the sentence as a word is not because they need to. It's not an inherent part of their species. They do it because the way that they communicate emotions is non-verbal, and it's non-verbal in a way that is subtle that most other species on the in the universe can't pick up on. It's, I believe, largely to do with, like, subtle micro changes in tone of voice that we just can't pick up, as well as like scents. Like there are like trace detectable scents that are supposed to clue you in on intended tone, and they quickly realized that the rest of the galaxy just doesn't pick up on their non-verbal subtext. So they started introducing tone indicators to their own sentences because they're like, we recognize that you, the rest of the species of the galaxy, require things to be, like, verbally, directly stated for you to understand what our tone is. You cannot pick up on the nuances of how we communicate. We will, for your benefit, insert tone indicators into our, like, everyday speech. And what I love about that is it is essentially a species that is having it's the equivalent to if human people who are not autistic went, oh, when we use non-verbal subtext, autistic people struggle to understand the intended meaning of our sentences. What we should start doing for the benefit of autistic people is saying the emotion of the sentence at the start of the sentence so that they can follow along. It is that equivalent, but on a galactic scale. The Elcor are a species that has basically gone, we recognize your inability to follow our non-verbal subtext. We will accommodate for you in our in our, like, grammatical structure. And I fucking love that. Sumac says, if you had completely missed Mass Effect, would Andromeda be a good start or just better played before the original trilogy or at all? I would say, if you were gonna play it, the right place to play it, and I know it would kind of kill the pacing of the original trilogy, I think it would be Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Andromeda, Mass Effect 3. Because by playing it after Mass Effect 1 and 2, you understand the setup for the big species conflicts that are going to get rehashed. But you haven't yet solved them back in the Milky Way, so you can re-explore and rehash them in Andromeda, then go back to the Milky Way and actually fix those problems and get a sense of closure. I feel like it would be the least... I feel like 1, 2, Andromeda 3 would be the one that would give you the best opportunity of enjoying Andromeda. I think it's the one where Andromeda would work best. I don't know if it would be to the benefit of the pacing of the original trilogy. I think it would, to some degree, lessen the impact of 3 if you took a big break from between 2 and 3. But I think Andromeda, if you were going to play it, works best if you play 1 and 2 to get the setup and don't play 3 for the payoff. Zilla, I would need to replay Andromeda to know whether I agree with you, but Zilla says, I'd even argue that playing Andromeda first would allow you to play without expectations. You might be right. On a mechanical level, Andromeda first might be the correct one to do. In my head, I feel like Andromeda wants you to know a reasonable degree about the starting conflicts, and, like, it wants you to know what the Reapers are already, and, like, understand the state of, oh shit, the things happened, and, like, 1,000 fucking million Reapers are coming, and, like, this is why we're shipping off to Andromeda. Like, Andromeda doesn't do a great job of explaining why they're shipping these people across the galaxy, Also, it sort of expects a degree. It feels like it expects a degree of existing understanding of the universe. But I do agree from a mechanical level that if you played Andromeda first, you wouldn't be going in disappointed that it isn't mechanically and structurally the two first ones that are better. Only because a lot of the backstory is integrated into the museum. Maybe. Again, I've not played Andromeda recently enough to remember if the museum is does a sufficient job of doing that backstory stuff. But yeah, as Zilla says, what about a Mass Effect colony builder with dynamic events based on choices made in an existing Mass Effect file? Or a shop manager game where you're trying to get Shepard's endorsements? An RTS game based around pre-uplifted Krogans? So many ideas, right? Exactly. There's so many things you can do in that universe. Anyway, what was I doing? Was I going for this cave? Is this cave gonna get me where I'm going? No, I think this is gonna take me to the warden we're trying to find.
Glad you made it. I just got here myself.
Okay, cool.
My
We'll
contact
do
with
this.
the wardens should be at the back of the cave.
A group of wardens were protecting a villager from corpses out near Crestwood.
They were likely hunting my friend. I'm glad they didn't come looking for people to help in here. They might well be good men, but they've been given bad orders.
One sec. So many Gamescom emails.
Let's go.
You know what? I think I'm going to leave this here. We'll come back on either Wednesday or Friday stream and continue this, because this feels like this is going to be like a decently sizable mission, and we're coming up on midnight for me. I don't know if Wednesday's stream is going to be continuing more of this, or if we're going to take a break to do a stream of thank you for coming. Is that what it's called? Thank you for coming. The British cartoony point-and-click adventure-y silly jokey one. Thank goodness you're here. Thank goodness you're here. That's the name of it. Thank you for coming. We might do a stream of Thank Goodness You're Here. We might do that in the daytime and do a Mass Effect stream in the evening. And then at the very least we'll be back with more Dragon Age on Friday. Thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. It's out on Thursday? I thought it was out on Wednesday. Maybe I'm wrong. If it's out on Thursday, then I guess we'll do Dragon Age on Wednesday then. I'll double check the dates. I thought it was Wednesday. Thank you very much everyone. I hope you've enjoyed. We'll be back with another stream soon. I hope you have a good one. Goodbye.